Okay, so we're live. So hello and welcome to everybody. First, I'd like to thank you for coming here, for your digestion phase. Clap your hand if you're eating right now. Very practical. Okay, so this is not a very technical session, and in advance, I'm sorry for my French accent, my French likely mistakes, and my sore throat. It's going to hurt your ears, and I'm also going to hurt your eyes. So, Devoops is obviously fictitious, or is it? So, we're going to talk about Devoops, which is an alternative that I see growing in the environment to DevOps. And we're going to talk about the origins of Devoops. But unlike DevOps, it's not related in any way to the fact that the World Wide Web has been a new target for many companies, nor is it related to need of scalability or augmenting stuff. And it is not either related to the fact that delivery of software and components has accelerated due to agility of teams. Mostly it's related to the fact that we need to sell consistency. Okay, so as compared to DevOps, it's much more efficient because you don't have to think about all those stuff. So what are the fundamentals? It's really important to understand how you want to apply Devoops. So first things first, Devoops is a job description. Okay? You should hire a Devoops. It's very important. A team of Devoops is even better. Rerun all the jobs with Devoops inside if you cannot really hire a Devoops. And now everybody should be a Devoops. So you try to be inclusive, but only on paper, okay? It's less costly. Next step, huge tools. Don't start with what you have. Buy big stuff. It adds consultancy, work, and it increases the value of your company and also of your suppliers. Tools with Devoops in their name is even better, obviously. Cloud tools is top. Cloud tools with Devoops in their name is perfect. You should apply a strict method. Devoops is all about the method. It's not about inventing stuff, it's not about discussing, it's about setting the method up front and then stick to the process. All the time. Nevertheless, whatever happens, if something fails, stick to the process. Proven true for many, many decades. And enforce it. If people don't want to stick to the process, force them to do it. It's very, very important. About the mnemonic. You may have heard about the DevOps mnemonic that everybody tries to remember and tries to put things in the categories. So about, the yada, 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 culture, automation, and so on. So the culture that you have to make people work together, the automation of stuff, and lean, and measurement, and sharing, and all those. You've heard about that, yeah? Yeah, I'd say about 400 people heard about that in the room, roughly. Devoops comes with the mnemonic nerves, or nervous, depending on how you want to put it. And that the acronym stands for N for narrow. So try to narrow your action in any way. Whatever you do, try to make it small. Enterprisey, because it's good for selling consultancy. Foster rivalry between teams. That's the best way to incentivize people to work. Be vague, almost as much as I am today. Then people have the feeling that they retain something from it, but they don't. And serendipity, because I always have problems pronouncing it, and it's a nice word. It feels nice, no? And almost nobody can define it properly. Don't automate. Automate is a cost. Or automate everything, but with pre-automated stuff. So prefer the approach, which is tabula rasa. You just uninstall everything. Don't automate the existing stuff. It's very costly. You won't get any benefits. So buy everything. Huge tools. Huge bloated tools. Buy before any other approach. Okay? So you have something, you want to have software, buy a pipeline. Best solution. Don't work on it. Rebrand everything DevOps. So we talked about the jobs, but you can rebrand the full company to DevOps. You can rebrand the database administrators, but also the marketing. DevOps marketing is nice. You can also do that with sales, DevOps sales. Great, sounds good. Huh? You would totally buy that. So what about Lean? Everybody knows about Lean? Yeah, surely not. So it's very, very much in the center of DevOps, but I mean, it's very narrow. There's a very narrow set of people who really use Lean properly or do Lean properly. I mean, all those things about waste and stuff. I mean, if you do consultancy, you want to have waste because that's basic of your work. That's how you bill hours. So stop about that. And then there's the 3 ways of DevOps with those feedback loops and loops of feedback loops and loops. I mean, if you look at that, imagine the number of new meetings that you'll have to have for those feedbacks. It's completely crazy. I could not imagine. So you're supposedly you have to make people work properly, and then you increase the global feedback loop, and then you foster experimentation, and wow, I'm already tired thinking about it. That's the way of Devoops. Simple feedback loop, always no issue discussing, no meetings because you don't have to be synchronized with yourself and your own team. Works properly, has been defined for many years, don't have to discuss it. Great. So continuous improvement. Continuous improvement. Prefer detailed planning. That's by far the best way to have DevOps approach. Create a DevOps project, plan it, stick to the plan, stick to the process, give a date when the project ends and the DevOps is there. And then when it's finished, you do DevOps start and you're DevOps. Guaranteed. If you stick to the process, if you don't, but in any way, it fails. And plan everything up front. Experimentation. So it's supposed to be the parts of the last step of DevOps. Nobody likes experimentations. It's costly, it's random, you don't know where it goes. An imposed method is going to block people into experimenting anything, and so do big bloated tools, because then you cannot adapt them. And this is why you buy them. You don't want to adapt them. And lastly, and I see that I've been very fast, so you will be happy to digest very... Anyway, don't find my word. Oh gosh, the beers are good in Antwerp. You should hire a Devoops consultant, because that's the key to a real Devoops approach. I knew I would do it once. So thank you very much. It was a lot shorter than 15 minutes. I may, maybe, yeah, anybody has questions? Yes, one question?
Do you have a Devoops certification?
So the question is, do you have a Devoops certification? So being the person that gives Devoops certificates and the inventor of Devoops, I don't have to, but if you want one, you can pay me for it. Go through a training, that will give you all basically these slides, but with the speaker notes. Any other question? Well, thank you very much.